Yo, check out this sick clip from my friend.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Wasn't that fire? Anyway, this video is about Elden Ring. Hello everyone, welcome back. I figured it was about time to make my biannual YouTube video. Today we're talking about Elden Ring, a brand new game that's been out for 8 months. In this game, you're tasked with embarking on a sweeping journey to kill God and find the One Piece. Visit beautiful sights, fight dangerous battles, and get incredibly familiar with the name of this woman. The game is so sick that after I beat it, I immediately started another playthrough and beat it again, and if I don't talk about it to a global audience, I may consider sacrificing myself to an eldritch flame god and burn down the entire world. Speaking of world, in the long-forgotten year of 2011, Queen Marika ruled over the lands between, but this all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Marika shatters her magic rings given to her by literal God, and he gets so pissed at her that he traps her in a giant tree like a subtle Bible reference. 7 of her strongest relatives claimed a piece of the ring for themselves in the world's worst family reunion called the Shattering. After that, Melania, Blade of Mikola, decides to fight Starscourge Radahn for his shard of the ring in a Denny's parking lot in Cleveland, but it goes so poorly that she ends up infecting all of the state of Ohio with ligma, and gives Radahn severe dementia. Remember, you may be able to control gravity and beat the literal stars in a fight, but you are still not immune to dementia. This is where you come in as a tarnished warrior. God keeps Facebook super poking you, telling you to enter the metaverse and take out all of the demigods to collect their 7 gym badges and become the Pokemon champion. I love Pokemon. My favorite part was always the hemorrhaging. When you start the game, you wake up in mysteriouscitadel.jpg only to get murdered immediately by 7-Legged Steven. This boss teaches you the very important lesson of the world, death. After dying, you wake up in the great country of Wales where it becomes apparent that you have no girlfriend. This is an immediate hindrance as you are gatekept from gaslighting without your own girl boss. Don't worry though, after a long 10 minutes of gameplay, you meet Melatonin, who agrees to be your rent-a-girlfriend as long as you agree to become God of the New World. You accept her request and she gives you a horse, which finally lets you start. Elden Ring is an open-world death simulator turned murder spree once you obtain the mythical effect known as blood loss. Laugh with glee as you watch literal demigods bleed out and die. Elden Ring is a member of the Demon Souls-born hero genre, but don't worry if you haven't played any of them before. My only experience with the genre was playing Dark Souls but rage-quitting after reaching Blighttown and completing the Cuphead tutorial. So since I am such a god gamer, I will go over the basics. Every time you kill an enemy, you get a certain amount of special murder tokens, which you can redeem at your nearest Chuck E. Cheese for the prize known as levels. Leveling up Vigor gives you more HP or health. Leveling up Mind gives you more FP or friend points because you use it to summon friends called Spirit Ashes to help you in fights. Leveling up Endurance gives you more stamina for attacking and dodge rolling. Anything else? Those are combat stats, baby. You want to level up your combat stats based on your build. Do you see these funny little markings at the bottom of the screen? We call them scalings. Every weapon scales off of a specific stat, and leveling up that stat makes you do more damage, which is what you want to do. Uh-oh, sometimes weapons or spells require a minimum amount of a stat to use, and not having enough means either you can't cast that spell, or the weapon you're using makes everything terrible. Also, every item weighs something, and you can only carry so much looking like that. Need to carry more talismans? How about you hit the gym? Going over 70% of your maximum equipment load will cause you to heavy roll, which has way less invincibility frames for dodging and is slow as shit. Go over 100% of your equipment load and you can't run or dodge at all. If your bones are being turned into the finest puree by a boss, you can opt to use a spirit summon, which is a one-time per battle dap up where your best buddy can aid you in killing God, at least until they die because they suck at rolling. My personal favorite summon is the realest person that I know, which summons an exact copy of your character and everything you have equipped. This means double the spinal bleeding. Besides the aneurysms, there are other status effects you can put on your weapons, like poison or frostbite or the scarlet rot, which is like the common cold if it eliminated function of all of your organs. Every weapon can have a skill called an Ash of War that gives a special effect, and applying that allows you to change the scaling of the weapon or add a status effect, which means you can make things such as Bloody Scimitar or Magic Katana. There are about 100 more things I could talk about for gameplay, but that would take hours and detract from 70% of the game. One important thing to remember is that it really is not that deep. I gatekept myself from the game for a while because I was afraid I would lock myself into a bad build early and not be able to beat the game later, but the game is very forgiving when it comes to builds. In 2 different playthroughs, I basically just picked up the weapon I thought was coolest and rocked in until the end of the game with no issues. Out of 2 playthroughs, I had a dual sword build where I'd stab myself to increase all my damage by 30%, and another where my health bar took up 80% of my screen, and every time I hit an enemy, I healed myself. These tools sound stupid, but they're very rewarding because of the game takes pride in killing you in new and interesting ways every time. Elden Ring has many different regions, such as Wales, Wyoming, Loot Lake, Death Mountain, and the World Tree. The most dangerous region of them all is Mountaintop of the Giants, which requires story progression to unlock and is uniquely 1,000 times more difficult than every other area of the map. When you get here, the difficulty curve becomes a difficulty elevator, as every enemy is either a boss from a previous area or a normal enemy that does 4 times more damage. If you get to this area early, death will follow you like Obama follows my father on Twitter. So if you're wishing to keep both sides of your body together, I recommend exploring the other areas first. Even if the difficulty spike is bullshit, it encourages you to traverse other avenues, like Akron at Turtle City, the shining jewel of Ohio, or literal hell. Once you're comfortable surviving in the mountaintop, you will come to find that nothing will be fair for the rest of the game. A boss's fast attacks steal half of your health, and their slow attacks kill you instantly. Your character will sip from their flasks so many times they'll become an alcoholic. Another hilarious addition of the game is delayed attacks, Miyazaki's newest invention for creating the goofiest of boss patterns. Basically, every boss will try to bait your dodge roll by holding their attack on their shoulder before unleashing it at lightning speed. It's like they're lagging. After a grand total of 5 hours, you will get the hang of this, but you are never not frustrated by it. Not to mention that even normal enemies do this, so if you're not playing at maximum gamer efficiency at all times, your entrails will experience direct access to oxygen. If all of this sounds difficult, it actually isn't. I've beat the game twice, and despite popular belief, you don't get that much better at the game by beating it. You just learn how to win. When you get accustomed to the Nightmare Zone, that is the Mountaintop of the Giants, and learn to hold on to your dodge roll, you'll find a game that is much more fun than League of Legends, which is the highest praise I could possibly give to a game. Hello everyone, pardon my voice, I'm a little bit sick. Excuse the no editing for this part, I just wanted to talk to you and I've well exhausted my editing capabilities for today. Thank you so much for watching. I've been working on this video for probably 2 or 3 months now. It's definitely my most ambitious project so far, but Elden Ring felt like it was necessary to make this crazy. I thought about adding some final thoughts since it's been like 5 months since I wrote this script, but I just kind of agree with everything I said. This game's great, and if you haven't played it yet, then maybe it winning Game of the Year in a couple days will convince you to do so. This segment's gonna age really badly if it doesn't win. But yeah, that's all I got for you all today. I'm not gonna come out here and say I'll see you soon because, come on. We all know a video schedule's a foreign concept to me, but I can guarantee you that one day I will be back. Just in case it isn't soon, have a happy new year. I have some ideas of videos to make, it's really just a matter of whether or not I actually make them. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed yourself, be sure to leave a like on the video, and if you really enjoyed yourself, be sure to subscribe to get notified for whenever I make another one of these. I really appreciate the support, and I love you all. Have a great night.